The City of Fergus Falls is home to more than 500 acres of green space and a total of 24 park and recreation areas. From swimming at Pebble Lake, outdoor events at Kirkbride Park, along with many quiet spaces to enjoy nature with family or friends, Fergus Falls truly has an outdoor recreation space for everyone. Today we're going to talk about one of the most visible parks in our city, the park formerly known as NP Park. Located in the heart of Fergus Falls along what was once the Northern Pacific Railway and just north of Lake Region Healthcare, this park is comprised of 2.8 acres of green space, a shelter area, and playground for kids. Thanks to the generosity of many in our community and spearheaded by the Fergus Falls Noon Kiwanis, this site just saw a total renovation and upgrade of its outdoor play area and will be renamed to honor a beloved Fergus Falls physician. Come along as we learn more about this reimagined space. So I'm standing here today with Sarah Duffy, the chairperson of this park revitalization. Welcome, Sarah. Really excited to learn more about the Dr. Alan Magnuson Park.
Yeah.
So first of all, this park, it was formerly known as NP Park. It's been around the community for a really long time. And I think we were talking a number of years ago, the Fergus Falls Noon Kiwanis Club actually had donated some equipment to this park. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so about 20 years ago, Kiwanis raised money and purchased the Kaboom equipment, or that orange and blue equipment that was here. And the playground really hasn't been updated for 20 years. So we thought it was about time to really do a total overhaul of it.
Sure. And obviously you can hear they're still putting the finishing touches on it behind us. Some of the workers getting this ready kind of for the dedication that's upcoming a couple of days from now. But this park, really a community backdrop, just given its central location, home to a lot of different gatherings and events. Who had kind of the foresight or idea to kind of revitalize this park, and why?
So the actual original idea was actually from Steve Vigasa. He was the president of Noon Kiwanis probably 6-7 years ago. And he brought the idea forward after we had done our last signature project, which was the Lake Alice grand opening, reopening the skating rink. The project kind of fell dead. It was an idea, and I kind of just picked it up and ran with it.
Very cool. And you, along with the Fergus Falls Noon Kiwanis, and there were a lot of other stakeholders or a lot of other people involved in helping raising the money, as I understand it. And exactly how large of a scale, how much money was required to help revitalize this park?
Yeah, so when I was president, I decided that this was kind of going to be my signature project. And the initial goal for fundraising was about $300,000. It just kind of kept growing and growing as we wanted to add this or add that. As you can see, the zip line was about $100,000 add-on,
oh, wow.
But totally worth the money, I think. So at the end of the day, Kiwanis, we raised $25,000 towards the project. I established a fundraising committee, and to date we raised about $603,000 in total.
Wow, that's really, really incredible, and what a great asset to the Fergus Falls community. And so I think, obviously, the park speaks for itself. There are a lot of great features. I think there's a water feature as well, which I think there's some confusion in the community, especially as we've had so much talk about like the riverfront and a splash pad. I've had some people say there's going to be a splash pad here. Is that the case, or what is fact?
So it's not a complete splash pad. I learned through this process, we had at the beginning just kind of explored whether we were going to do a splash pad, a park, a combination of the two. And splash pads require a total kind of water treatment system that's underground. And as everyone knows, Dr. Alan Magnuson Park is a stormwater basin. And so that was not feasible here, but we wanted, the community has long been asking for a splash pad, as we all know. And so we wanted to have a water feature. So if you look over here, there's, and we can get some video of it later, but there's 4 tall cattails, and they're on a timed water feature. So there's a button on each cattail. You push that and it mists water, and then it'll time off. So the water doesn't circulate, it just runs off. So it doesn't require as much underground, water treatment as a full-blown splash pad. But
sure. Well, really a remarkable asset to the Fergus Falls community, Sarah, for families, even for visitors. Is there anything else you want to add about Dr. Alan Magnuson Park in this revitalization?
I think the biggest thing for us, our biggest goal, was to have something that's inclusive and accessible. There are a lot of amenities that create barriers for everyone in the community to have access to, and a park is one of those amenities in a community that anyone can have access to. And not only that, but we wanted to create a playground that was accessible to people of all abilities. So as you'll see throughout the playground, Landscape Structures, the company that we worked with, they really focus on inclusive play. And even this tall structure behind us, it has rubber belting instead of stairs. So you can crawl up it, and so that is actually, someone can be transferred onto that. Everything here is, all children of all abilities can play side by side. So there's no kind of separate area for, a child that may be disabled that may not be able to play with their peers. So that was one of our focuses. And the other focus was to have something that's larger scale, that kind of meets that age group between 8 and 13 of those kids that still want to play, that still have play, inside of them, but they need something that's a little bit more challenging. And so those were kind of our two main goals as we designed the playground, and I think we achieved that.
Sure. So ADA compliant and also something for children of all ages. That's really remarkable and great for the Fergus Falls community. So Sarah Duffy, thanks so much for your time today. We're looking forward to exploring Dr. Alan Magnuson Park, and thanks for all that you've done and all of the volunteers and the donors on this project.
Thank you.